arrested in London today for a period of about 3 to 4 hours. He was then granted bail by the magistrate in a Westminster court. The court has adjourned the hearing in the Mallya extradition case till May the 17th after Mallya was given bail, a conditional bail, I beg your pardon. He, of course, tweeted immediately after trying to troll the Indian media, saying, and I quote him now, "Usual Indian media hype." The court extradition has started, extradition proceedings and the court case has started. We got reactions from a host of personalities on this. We understand now the next hearing will be held on the 17th of May. Till that time, Mallya is still a free man. He's out on bail, on conditional bail, I might add, but he's still out. As far as the UK authorities are concerned, we got in touch with the New Scotland Yard and we were told it's now a matter that is up to the court since it's an extradition hearing. Let's go across now to Geeta Mohan, my colleague, joining us for more on this. Geeta, next hearing on the 17th of May. Till then, Mallya is out on conditional bail. Expected result there, but still, as long as the extradition case is on, there is still hope.
Right, there is still hope. The fact that it's a complicated case, Arthur, and there could not have been a decision that the court or the judge would have taken on the first day itself. There is no way that this case would have been heard in a day's time, and so the bail does not come as a surprise. What one should be looking at is the fact that the UK Westminster Magistrates Court recognized India's request for extradition, allowed a warrant. He was arrested on the basis of the extradition request and the warrant, and now a case is ongoing. So there's a two-pronged approach that the Indian authorities are looking at. One is that they have to provide enough evidence, and the MHA has directed the ED and CBI to collect all the information and evidence that is required for the case and seek all the legal opinion. And secondly is to engage politically the top brass of the UK government to ensure that there are certain changes in the decisions and the loopholes with regards to such cases are plugged. This is not the first case, Arthur. We have cited other cases also where people have brandished their PR cards and hence have not been extradited back into India, and so that's where the loopholes have to be plugged, and a political decision in terms of policies has to be taken. Also, that a decision on whether if there are problems that exist in the extradition treaty between India and UK have to be looked into. If these two areas are covered, then there is no way Vijay Mallya can smile and tweet the way he has been tweeting. For now, his case looks good because there are loopholes that exist, Arthur. And while he's out on bail on a bond, and the next hearing is on the 17th, one will have to wait and see what the Indian administration does in terms of the evidences for the court, as also in terms of the political engagement with the political brows of UK.
Right. Geeta, also the fact that we spoke to the ED lawyer earlier in the program, and he of course was of the opinion that since the finance minister himself is following the case and has been indulging really involved at least in high-level diplomacy with UK ministers, including the Prime Minister and the Chancellor of the Exchequer there, the ED will be sending across officials to try and help the UK prosecution in this particular case, because nobody knows the case better than the enforcement directorate officials. Now that is something India is looking at and will be sending officials to try and buff up the case against Mallya.
Well, that's right. You're absolutely right, Arthur, that these are all areas that have to be covered by the Indian authorities, that the enforcement directorate, including the CBI, which officials of which have focused on this case, would have to look into the matter and ensure that they are there for the case and for the hearing to give all sort of legal and evidentiary support that is required for the case to move forward in the right direction, that is in India's interest. There are a lot of people who are waiting and hoping that the Indian government will be able to bring Vijay Mallya back and bring him to book for the wrongs that he's done, not just in terms of the the fraudulent economic practices that are against the government and the state, but also against his own employees and people who have suffered at the hands of Vijay Mallya and his decisions that have not gone down well either for the company or, for that matter, in terms of following the laws of the land. While that may be the case, UK courts also have to follow their own rules and laws of their land, and in that, if there are loopholes, Vijay Mallya is going to try to exploit that to the fullest. Now, it is for the Indian administration to ensure that they have all the evidences they require and the details of the investigations that were carried out in place for the court to take a view that is in favor of India. And also, like I have been saying, Atul, this is only a beginning. The court case is on now. It is ongoing. So it's only a matter of political decisiveness whether those loopholes are going to be plugged for Vijay Mallya to be brought to book.
Well, as far as the Indian government is concerned, of course, India has made the official request for extradition, and looking at the track record between India and the UK, despite the existence of an extradition treaty since 1993, there's only one person who's ever been extradited from the UK to India, and beyond that, there have been many other requests, and none of them have been successful, Geeta. So it's clearly an arduous task. It's not going to be easy, and it's going to be, in my opinion, a long, protracted process. Is the Indian government completely committed that no matter how long it takes, they will pursue the case to its logical conclusion?
That's right. At this point in time, Atul, it seems like the Indian government is quite committed to ensure that Vijay Mallya is brought back to the country. There are loopholes, and in the past cases, all those individuals have enjoyed because of the loopholes. The fact that permanent residency is a problem and is an issue is something that has to be taken care of and handled. That's another big loophole for anybody to have a card, a PR card, and then brandish that and consider UK or London a safe haven. Not only is bad for the image of Britain, but also is bad for any country that really wants to bring the perpetrators of economic offences to book. In this case, India has suffered in the past at the hands of the flawed policies of the United Kingdom, and does not want to continue being a victim of that and to that. And it's the reason why we see that high-level engagement between Arun Jaitley and his counterpart as finance minister, and again Arun Jaitley as his counterpart as defense minister.
Right.
We have also seen various engagements between the foreign secretary and the Ministry of External Affairs, and hence India can only be hopeful that the UK government is going to look into the entire matter and the sensitivity of the case.
All right, Geeta, stay on with us. We have another piece of news that's coming in right now. We're going to break it officially. The Indian government says it will soon start the process to extradite Vijay Mallya. Remember, the request to the UK has already gone for formal extradition, but now the Indian government says they will indeed start work on how to extradite Vijay Mallya. Now, to help us understand what exactly that could involve, Geeta Mohan is still with us. Geeta, the Indian government says they will start the process to extradite Mallya soon. But that, of course, very little the Indian government can do currently except for formally request the UK authorities to actually do that. It will all depend on how the case comes up in court first.
Well, that's right. It is a very sensitive issue and a complicated one at that, and it all depends on how it looks in.
We seem to have lost Geeta's connection there. We'll try and get her back. In the meantime, let's also get in some reactions we've gotten after Vijay Mallya was dramatically arrested today and equally dramatically released on bail.
इंटरपोल ने अरेस्ट करके हमने पहली एक्सट्रेडिशन की फर्स्ट स्टेप हमने पार कर दी है, लेकिन इस फर्स्ट स्टेप से हमने खुश नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि आगे चल के एक्सट्रेडिशन प्रोसीजर और प्रोसेस बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है.
I feel happy that I at least had joy for 3 hours because so far there was nothing that was really happening to him. I hope this is something that will be taken to its conclusion and he would be arrested eventually. At least things are moving in the right direction and it happened for some time. It's sad that it was not conclusive. So I'm just hoping that he finally gets arrested, he's brought to India, faces justice, and we get our dues.
We, the working class, who always have to suffer, let it be the employer not paying salaries, or maybe some kind of wrong government policies, and no protection to employees, we still have the only hope that we can fight for our rights.
I think it wasn't an easy thing, but the Indian government did achieve what they wanted to achieve. Whatever is due and what is legally due, I'm sure he will pay. I'm sure he'll also want to resolve the problem. And I think this matter would have been easily resolved in the first place if he hadn't left India. And I think the British justice system is very fair, and so is the Indian legal system. So I think he will get justice, and as Dr. Mallya is claiming that he has not done anything wrong, if he has not done anything wrong, of course he will be set free.
निश्चय ही जो कार्य पिछली सरकारें करने में असफल रहीं उसे कर दिखाने में मोदी सरकार और भारत सरकार के वित्त मंत्रालय और संबंधित विभागों ने एक उपलब्धि प्राप्त की है.
This is all in the media, but I will wait for the MEA to come out with the report with the confirmation that he has indeed been arrested. But let me also tell you that the government of India was committed from day one that Mr. Mallya should be arrested, and if he has been arrested in London, then you must give credit to the government of India for him being arrested by the Scotland Yard.
We urge upon the Honourable Prime Minister, we urge upon the Finance Minister to not cloud the judgment of people of India. Ensure immediate deportation or immediate extradition. Prime Minister should dial his counterpart in UK and push upon, urge upon, pressurize UK authorities to ensure that Vijay Mallya is handed over, not that he is arrested 1 hour and granted bail the next.
See, I welcome that, though this should have happened much earlier. I was hoping it would have happened because, you never know what kind of a work he could have done with evidence or other things. I'm also actually particularly, surprised as to why he really ran away. Well, you defaulted on loan payments. I think you should have been here and worked out and, settled things with the authorities. Anyway, I think his arrest is a welcome thing, and I hope he gets extradited soon so that justice is done and our banks start getting back their money.
ये तो बहुत दिन से प्रोसेस चल रही थी और विजय माल्या एक ऐसी व्यक्ति हैं जो काफी हेराफेरी के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं. आर्थिक अनियमितता के साथ उनका नाम जुड़ा है. हजारों करोड़ का बैंक घोटाला हुआ है और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कानून पर कार्रवाई की व्यवस्था हो रही थी. आज वो सफलता मिली है और उनको कानून के सामने ला करके सजा देना चाहिए. इतना ही नहीं है, जैसा बैंक का जारी किए हैं उनका प्रॉपर्टी को बेच करके देश को उसका मुआवजा लेना चाहिए.
He was arrested and then in a matter of hours was granted bail. Vijay Mallya might be out on bail, but the case is ongoing. It was on the request of India for extradition and to extradite Vijay Mallya that a warrant was issued, and now it depends on the political class of India and Britain to ensure that all the loopholes are plugged, to see to it that the extradition treaty is in place and the rules of law in United Kingdom favor India for the court to take a decision in favor of India. With video journalist Dinesh Thakur in New Delhi, Geeta Mohan for NewsX.
Time for a short